1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Farzana Khan. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has left for Davos to attend the annual meeting of World Economic Forum. Special Assistant on Information says Prime Minister in his interaction with world leadership will apprise them of the worst human rights violations in occupied Kashmir. Senate was informed today that Pakistan Baitul Mal established 75 orphanages named as Darul Ehsas across the country during last year for the welfare of the orphans. Army Chief has reiterated Pakistan Army's full support and commitment to the Kashmir cause and its people. In occupied Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred 2 more Kashmiri youth in Pulwama district today, rising the death toll to 5 during the past 2 days. The U.S. Senate began impeachment trial against President Donald Trump today. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has left for Davos to attend the annual meeting of World Economic Forum. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, Advisor on Commerce Abdul Razak Dawood, Special Assistant on Overseas Pakistanis Zulfikar Abbas Bukhari, and Special Assistant National Security Division Masood Yusuf are accompanying the Prime Minister. Advisor on Finance Dr. Abdul Hafiz Sheikh and Ambassador at Large for Investments Ali Jahangir Siddiqui will also join the Prime Minister at Davos. The 2 key highlights of the visit include the Prime Minister's keynote address at the World Economic Forum's special session and his interaction at the Pakistan Strategy Dialogue with CEOs and corporate leaders. On the sidelines, the Prime Minister will hold bilateral meetings with several world leaders, including the U.S. President Donald Trump. Special Assistant to Prime Minister on Information and Broadcasting, Dr. Firdaus Ashikawan, says Prime Minister Imran Khan, during the visit to attend the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, will expose the true face of India before the international community. Briefing media in Islamabad this afternoon, she said the Prime Minister, in his interaction with world leadership, will apprise them of the prevailing situation in occupied Kashmir and the worst human rights atrocities being committed by India. She said almost 5 months have passed during which Kashmiris are subjected to numerous restrictions on speech, movement, and economic activities. The Senate was informed today that Pakistan Baitul Mal established 75 orphanages named as Darul Ehsas across the country during last year for the welfare of the orphans. Responding to a question during the question hour in Senate, Minister for Parliamentary Affairs Azam Khan Swati said children in orphanages are provided quality education by the private educational institutions of the respective areas. He said a large number of government employees who are undeserving beneficiaries of the Benazir Income Support Program have been identified, which will make this program more transparent. The Chairman Senate directed the minister to provide the complete list of all those officers who fraudulently benefited from the BSIP. Minister for National Food Security and Research Khusro Bakhtiar has said that federal government has evolved a mechanism with the coordination of provincial governments to end artificial shortfall of wheat in some parts of the country. Winding up a discussion on a motion in the Senate, he said that 4 million tons of wheat was available in the public sector and there is no shortfall of wheat in the country. He said flour prices in Sindh brought down them from 60 to 54 rupees, while in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa 58 to 52 rupees per kilogram. The minister said that the government has raised the minimum support price of wheat from 1,300 to 1,365 rupees per 40 kilogram. Meeting of the National Assembly Standing Committee on Information and Broadcasting was held at the Parliament House in Islamabad today with Mia Javed Latif in the chair. The committee unanimously recommended that the Pakistan Broadcasting Corporation Amendment Bill 2019 and the Associated Press of Pakistan Amendment Bill 2019, which was moved by MNA Sayyid Fakhr Imam, to be passed. It expressed concern over the improper check and balance of Pakistan Electronic Media Regulatory Authority on private media channels and directed that PEMRA may propose amendments in the existing rules. Sikandar Sultan Raja will be appointed as the new Chief Election Commissioner. A consensus decision to this effect was taken at the meeting of Parliamentary Committee on Appointment of Chief Election Commissioner and the members of the Election Commission in Islamabad today. The meeting also agreed to appoint Nisar Durrani as member of Election Commission from Sindh and Shah Mahmood Jatoi as member from Baluchistan. Commander Kenya Navy called on Naval Chief Admiral Zafar Mahmood Abbasi in Islamabad today. Matters pertaining to mutual interest, including promotion of naval cooperation, were discussed in the meeting. The dignitary was briefed on regional maritime security situation and Pakistan's stance on occupied Kashmir. The Commander Kenya Navy appreciated the setting up of medical camps by Pakistani ships at Mombasa. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa has reiterated Pakistan Army's full support and commitment to the Kashmir cause and its people. He was talking to President Azad Jammu and Kashmir, Sardar Masood Khan, who met him at the GHQ in Rawalpindi today. During the meeting, matters of mutual interest, particularly situation on line of control and Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, were discussed. In occupied Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh acts of state terrorism martyred 2 more Kashmiri youth in Pulwama district today, raising the death toll to 5 during the past 2 days. The youth were killed during a cordon and search operation launched by the personnel of Indian Army, General Reserve Police Force and Special Operations Group in Ontipura area of the district. Earlier, an Indian soldier and a special police officer were killed and another was injured in an attack in the same area. Meanwhile, thousands of people defying restrictions participated in the funeral prayers of the 3 youth in Shopia and Pulwama districts. These youth were martyred by Indian troops in Shopia yesterday. Anti-India, pro-freedom and pro-Pakistan slogans were raised on the occasion. Besides the military siege and lockdown going on in the occupied territory for the 170th day today, additional restrictions were imposed ahead of India's Republic Day celebrations, making the lives of the Kashmiri people more miserable. The U.S. Senate begins impeachment trial against President Donald Trump today. The 100-member U.S. Senate will decide on whether to convict the president and remove him from office on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. There could also be votes to dismiss the trial outright. Turkey says Eastern Libyan military commander Khalifa Haftar must abide by calls for a political solution to the conflict in Libya. In a statement, Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu said Haftar must take concrete and positive steps in line with calls of the international community for calm on the ground. And now hockey. An AstroTurf hockey stadium of international standard has been completed at Ayub National Park in Rawalpindi as a joint venture of Martyred Petroleum Company Limited and Army Heritage Foundation. This facility will promote national hockey and provide state-of-the-art sports facilities. Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa was the chief guest on the inaugural hockey match played between Pakistan Greens and Pakistan Whites. The Army Chief appreciated Martyred Petroleum Company for its efforts to revive the national game of hockey. Rally. Pakistan Tourism Development Corporation has announced that 3-day Chollaston Jeep rally to be started from 13th of next month in South Punjab. The aim of the Chollaston Jeep rally is to attract the tourists around the globe. It would also provide tourists a comfortable place to stay, as spacious and luxurious camps have been set up in the resort. And finally, the weather report. Rain and snowfall over mountains is expected at scattered places in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan, while at isolated places in Upper Punjab and Islamabad during the next 12 hours. Fog is likely to prevail in districts of South Punjab and Upper Sindh during night hours. Cold and dry weather is expected in other parts of the country. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.